think it's important to look at the demographics. You have the Generation X and the millennials, which are basically the early 60s until late 80s. And these form the largest number of consumers and investors. Now, these two generations have so much consideration in terms of ESG matters. This in terms of consumption and in terms of investing. So you actually have a real demand for such considerations. As I said, in terms of consumers, these people would look at all the the social aspects, the environmental aspects, and also in the governance. A recent study has showed that these people are willing to shift their consumption and their consideration for, between companies because of the ESG matters. A lot of companies might say, yes, we have an ESG policy. Now, if you look at the ESG rating companies, the providers, what they do is that they look at publicly available information. So they would look at your website, at your disclosures, and also your public communication. Now, if your ESG policy, if your ESG strategy is not properly communicated to the public, as a consequence, you're not going to get a good ESG rating, which is really what you want if you really pay attention and have a lot of regard for ESG matters. As a developing market, I think there is a lot of catch up to do, but we need to take it seriously. I think there is a lot of awareness locally and regionally. Sometimes there is the awareness, but I think what's more important is that we communicate this awareness. We actually translate it into action and communicate it.